Most of you who are young like me, we were born in this system. But this is not what can allow Burkina to live. Because in this situation, there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight, or we remain slaves forever, I tell you once. And there are some who are slaves in the head. They can only serve their master. And these people, each time they try to manipulate you, you must advise each other. Because each situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So you must advise each other and do not pay attention to certain words, even on certain media. Everyone is not obliged to be a patriot. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the country. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writing, you must close your ears and move forward. We must remember something. Recently, there was a so-called NGO. It is not even an NGO because an NGO is a non-governmental organization. But they are not non-governmental because they are financed by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports to say that the FDS and the VDP are carrying out executions. They came in and left here. It is to stain your morale. It is to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Besides, we will take this NGO into account because people must understand something. What is happening to us here? It is true that they have manipulated a part of our population in the Sahel. But they did not have this armament. What led to this important armament? It is Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It is this NGO, the same NGO that made these false reports and gave to whoever wanted to create a rebellion for people to intervene and make Gaddafi fall. And the powder is spilled in the Sahel. These millions of lives that were taken in the Sahel, we must take into account this NGO because it is responsible for these false reports that it made to consolidate this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us. Look at the world. Let them defend human rights everywhere in the world before coming here. We have the chance to have similar situations in this world. You are engaged voluntarily. There are countries where we take force, we kill. You leave or you die. Others, even if they want to flee, end up dying. They do not speak of human rights because these people see us as subhumans. They see us as slaves. It's like that in their heads. They have never changed their logic. But it is up to us to show them that we are not slaves and we will never accept this state of affairs. So there is no need to let yourself be overwhelmed by the story they tell, whoever wants to hear it. You have to stay focused on your fight. Stay focused. We know what we are doing. And even now, the commander of BVDP told me that there is a training session on human rights for the benefit of group leaders and their subordinates, which is ongoing. If we make an effort, we know that it is for us. We do not do anything to please anyone. We do it for our country. And you are committed to that. Defend your country. Do not listen to these individuals. They should not affect your morale. In the history of the world, there have been wars. And during the Second World War, people organized themselves to defend themselves, a little bit everywhere. But there was a country that could not defend itself, that had to come and take our ancestors to go and defend them.
Et aujourd'hui, ce même pays veut nous donner des leçons.
And today, this same country wants to teach us the hospital that laughs at charity.
Non. Vous êtes les descendants
No,
de ces mêmes
you are the
ancêtres qui sont
descendants
allés
of these
défendre
same
les autres, qui
ancestors
ont
who went to
libéré le
defend the
monde du
others,
nazisme.
who freed the world from
Aujourd'hui,
Nazism.
vous vous battez pour vos terres. Ces mêmes
Today you fight for your
individus
lands. These
créer
same
des termes
individuals dare to
pour vous
create
salir.
terms to dirty you.
Nous nous opposons à cela. Nous ne serons
We
jamais
oppose
d'accord.
this. We will never agree.
Continuez à défendre vos terres. Ce sont vos richesses qui intéressent ces gens.
Continue to defend your lands. It is your wealth that interests these people. It is our
Sinon,
gold,
pourquoi
our
venir
minerals
chercher
that interest
des villages
them.
entiers pour s'accaparer de nos terres? Donc, nous allons combattre et nous allons
If
récupérer nos
not,
terres. Nos
why
richesses,
come
ça
and
nous
look for
appartient.
entire
C'est pour nous,
villages
c'est
to
à nous
take
que
our
ça va
lands?
profiter. Et à
So
nos
we will
enfants.
fight and we will recover our lands. Our
Je
wealth
vous
belongs to
encourage
us.
donc à garder
It is
en
to
mémoire
us that it will
que cette
benefit
guerre,
and to
c'est
our
pour nous
children.
sortir de l'esclavage.
So I encourage you to keep in
pour notre
mind that
indépendance.
this war is to get us out of
Vous
slavery.
devez garder le
It is
moral
for
haut.
our
Restez
independence.
debout.
And you must keep your
Jamais
morale
céder
high. Stay up.
aux manipulateurs,
We will never give
à
in
ces
to the
individus qui ne
manipulators,
savent
to
que
these
cette notion de
individuals
patrie,
who no longer
ou à
know
ces
this
gens qui
notion
viennent
of
de
homeland,
l'extérieur
or to
pour
these
essayer de
people who
nous
come from the
dompter à
outside
travers
to try to
leurs
tame us through their
termes
terms
qu'ils
that they
ont
invented
inventés,
and their
leurs
organisms that they
qu'ils ont
invented
inventés
to
pour
serve
nous
us.
asservir. Combattez, avancez.
Fight, move
Faites
forward.
tout ce que vous pouvez.
Do everything you
Puisez,
can.
comme j'ai dit, dans
Dive,
vos
as I
ressources
said, into your
culturelles,
cultural
dans ce
resources,
dans quoi vous avez
into what you have been
forgé
forging
depuis
since the
Puisez
village.
dedans.
Dive
Faites
into
cette
it
guerre.
and wage this war.
Restez concentrés.
Stay focused and stay up.
Vous êtes ces gens-là qui ont osé.
You are those people who dared to take up arms to support the different forces of defense and security,
Pour lutter.
to fight to recover our lands.
Ce n'est pas permis à tout le monde. Chacun à son
This does
niveau
not apply to
peut faire
everyone.
ce qu'il peut.
Everyone at his level can do what he can.
Sont dans le commerce et
Others are in business and contribute.
essaient de communiquer pour vous encourager.
Others try to communicate to encourage you.
Essaient, en tout cas, chacun de sa position.
Others
Faites
try
ce
to
qu'il
do what
peut.
they can.
Mais vous, vous avez décidé de
But
prendre
you have
les armes
decided to take
et
up
faire
arms
face.
and face them.
On aime le dire, en temps de guerre, il y a deux types
We
de
like to say
citoyens.
that in times of war, there are two types of
Les
citizens.
porteurs de tenue,
Those who wear uniforms called FDS, who must go towards death. It is their duty.
et les civils qui doivent fuir.
And the civilians who must flee death because they are not trained for it.
Mais dans l'histoire des peuples, il arrive
But in the
toujours
history
ces
of peoples,
moments où vous vous retrouvez
there is
confronté.
always a moment when you find yourself confronted with your existence.
Soit vous vous battez ou vous disparaissez.
Either you fight or you
Aujourd'hui, le
disappear.
Burkina fait face à son destin.
Today, Burkina faces
C'est une
its
question
destiny.
d'existence.
It is a question of existence.
Et à ces moments cruciaux,
And at this
parmi ces
crucial
civils
moment,
qui devraient donner d'eau à la mort,
among those civilians
vous
who
avez
must give water to
décidé
death,
de prendre les armes et faire face. et
you have
accompagner
decided
les
to
frères
take up arms and face and support your brothers in arms.
Nous ne pouvons pas finir de vous rendre hommage.
We cannot
Nous ne
stop
pouvons pas
paying
finir de
tribute
vous
to you.
magnifier. Nous ne pouvons pas finir de vous
We cannot
glorifier.
stop magnifying you. We cannot stop
Vous êtes
glorifying
Burkinabé
you.
et c'est tout
You
ce
are
qu'on
from
vous demande.
Burkina Faso, and that is all we have
Vous avez
asked.
fait face à l'ennemi sans pour autant
You have
connaître
faced the enemy without knowing the
l'ennemi
enemy,
à fond, sans pour autant connaître, avoir les mêmes capacités que les forces.
without
de
having the
sécurité.
same capabilities
Vous avez
as the
fait
security
face.
forces.
Beaucoup d'entre vous ont payé,
But you have faced it.
mais vous continuez à
Many of you have paid for their lives, but you continue
Que
to
pouvons-nous
resist.
faire pour améliorer vos conditions de travail?
What can we do to improve your working conditions? That is combat.
La première des choses, le VDP existe.
First of all,
depuis
the
plusieurs
FDS has existed for several years,
années, n'était pas équipé.
but it was not equipped, especially the notion of individual weapons. I
Je
think
pense
that
que
this
ce
problem
problème
is
est
more or
plus ou
less
moins
solved.
résolu. Tous ceux
All
qui sont
those who are
VDP
VDP in the villages
aujourd'hui
today
ont des
have
armes.
weapons.
De toute façon, ils sont nombreux encore à
Anyway,
vouloir s'inscrire
there
au
are still
villages.
many who want to join, I am sure.
Tous les villageois souhaiteraient peut-être être
All the
VDP,
villagers might want to be
mais nous
VDP,
allons
but we
aller
will go step by step
étape par étape, parce que nous avons demandé aussi aux civils de contribuer, comme je vous disais tout à l'heure,
because we have also asked the
Jusqu'à un
civilians to
niveau
contribute, as I told you earlier,
qui doit permettre de vous prendre en charge.
up to a
Voilà
level
pourquoi
that
en
should
janvier,
allow
nous
you to
avons
take
décidé
charge.
de passer à un autre niveau en termes de prix,
That is why
mais
in
aussi
January
en
we
termes de
decided to
prise
go
en
to
charge
another
des
level in
blessés
terms of
et
prices,
d'assurer un certain
but
niveau.
also in terms of taking charge
L'équipement va
to
continuer.
injure and ensure a certain minimum.
Et tout ce qui pourra être fait pour vous
The equipment will
ça va
continue,
continuer.
and everything that can be done to accompany you, it will continue to grow.
Vous êtes identifié, vous êtes connu,
As we
vous êtes
advance
un
in the
bloc.
fight, you are identified, you are known, and you are a block in the different communes. That is why I ordered that we order clothes to start equipping little by little.
L'idéal pour moi n'est pas qu'on achète des tenues de l'extérieur.
But the ideal for me
Concevoir de nouveaux
is not to buy
tenues
clothes
pour
from
vous.
abroad.
Et nous souhaitons que ces tenues-là soient confectionnées.
We need to be able to design new types of clothes for you, and we want these clothes to be made here.
Voilà pourquoi nous sommes en train d'accélérer la mise en
That
place
is
de
why
l'usine
we
qui
are
va
accelerating the
produire.
establishment of the
Parce que je souhaite
factory
qu'il y ait un modèle
that must
particulier.
produce our clothes,
Voilà, une tenue
because I
spéciale
want there
pour
to
cette
be a
armée qui a la
particular
BBDP.
model, a special
Donc, c'est
outfit
une
for this
question qui
army
va se
that has the
résoudre.
BBDP
Et
too.
quoi de plus normal
So this is a
que vous
question
soyez
that will be
habillés
resolved. And what is more normal is that you are dressed by ourselves through our cotton that has been transformed here. But I urge you to never lose focus. We must not be surprised. We must not sleep. We never lower our arms.
Regardez aujourd'hui le volume de terroristes.
Today, look at the volume of terrorists who attacked Burkina Faso. Did you imagine that there was such a thing in Burkina
Ils étaient
Faso?
pourtant là, tapis dans l'ombre, ce qu'on appelle des cellules
Ah,
dormantes.
they were there, covered in darkness, what we
Parce que
call
ceux-là
dormant
qui nous ont
cells.
maintenus dans
Because
cette
those who
situation,
kept us in
le
this
jour qu'ils
situation,
voulaient, il suffisait qu'ils
the
disent
day they
au
wanted,
côté,
it was enough for them to
gouvernement,
say to the
faites ça.
government,
Si
we
vous
did
refusez,
this. If you
ils
refuse,
activent.
they will activate,
Et il faut combattre.
and we must fight.
Ce sont des ennemis de la nation. Ils
These
ont
are
décidé
enemies of the
d'attaquer leur
nation.
patrie.
They decided
Il faut
to
les
attack their
combattre.
country.
C'est
We
ça
must
qui
fight
dit.
them. It is without
L'autre
mercy.
volet, c'est entre vous-mêmes.
The other thing is between yourselves.
Surpasser un certain
You must
nombre
overcome a certain number of events and do not let yourself be manipulated.
Lorsque
When
il y a
there
des
are
événements,
events, we must
il
avoid
faut
making
éviter de faire des
interpretations
interprétations ou bien de se laisser manipuler.
or let ourselves
Notre
be
pays a
manipulated.
longtemps été dans
Our
un
country
système
has long been in a very complicated system.
La plupart